You don't need somebody throwing up trash blogs. Oh, I blog all the time. Well, that new algorithm don't like that too much. Your little trash blog being put up cheap as hell that nobody in their right mind would ever want to read ever. So if you can't throw up content and go and just slam it up like you could 5 years ago, 3 years ago, then what's Google doing? What can I do, Nolan? Well, I'm glad you asked. All right, guys, it's Nolan Walker here with Roofing Webmasters. I got a good one for you today. The title is called Google Hates Trash Content for Roofers. So Google hates trash content for roofers. And if you found this because you're looking for content for roofers, this is a great little education for you. And now notice I didn't say they hate content for roofers. I said they hate trash content for roofers. So a lot of people are still stuck back in like 10 years ago and they're hardcore content. And we'll get a call and say, hey, I need somebody to make content for me. Or I need somebody to blog for me. And what I mean by it, and I'll go through quite a few things out there. Let's talk first about what's bad content, what's good content. What do most people have? Well, most people have these trashy little websites with no content, copied content, or shallow content, like not much. And there's no reason for them to show it. And let's talk about Google's view of content. So, do you need content? Yes, you do need content. So Google just assumes you're a roofer, do roof repair and roof replacement, but they don't assume that you work on Owens Corning or Certainteed or architectural shingle. They don't assume that you work on hail damage roof repair. You have to have that content in it for you to show up, and the content's got to be great content. So do you need a page for roof insurance claims help? Yeah, if you want to show up for that. You need a page for wind damage roof repair, hail damage roof repair? Yes, if you want to show up for that. They don't guess you do that. Absolutely not going to guess that you do that. It not only helps your page show up, it helps the map show up. Is great content helpful? Yeah, it is. If you want to show up for a page of content or even your map to show up, if you got really horrible content, a little paragraph that big, or a paragraph this big, and a little paragraph that big and worth showing, paragraph this big and copied and worth showing. If people didn't code it well or write it well, it's not going to show up well, okay? So you got to have that too. What they don't want, I guess, is somebody's trashy content. So let's talk about trash content on an obvious scale. The whole site's copied. Oh, I got a site, I paid $1,500 for it. Got it in 2 days. If I see a website and it's chock full of content, you know the first thing I do as a guy that's been doing this for 10 years, I go to copyscape.com, COPYSCAPE.com. I get a URL like roof replacement page. I paste it into Copyscape to see if it's been copied. Nolan, why do people not like copied content? Why does Google not like copied content? Because they don't know if you had copyright violation, which is a legality issue, a law. So they don't know if you owned it and you put out a bunch of trashy ones. So in order to remedy this is just my theory on it, by the way, but it makes sense, doesn't it? So people don't go steal someone else's content, which is a legal issue. They just say, hey, no copied content. I say, well, the guy owns the content. He's done 100 cruddy roofing sites with the same exact content. That's too bad. That's bad. They don't like copied content. Doesn't matter how it originated, whether it was taken illegally or whether it was some guy's content that was copied 2 times, 50 times, 1,000 times. So you go get a template-based website. It's like crud. It's got tons of content. It's like, oh, I'll go check it. Boom, boom, boom. It's copied a lot of times. That's bad content. No content's bad. Can't find you. Nothing to validate that you even perform the service. That literally helps your keywords show up and helps your map show up. A little snippet on what's bad, cruddy content too. I'm gonna enlarge the umbrella of bad content, which Google kind of said, hey, we don't want some poor sap that you paid somebody to make blogs. So it's like, for example, let's say that I'm in Dallas, Fort Worth, where I live, and a roofer says, "Oh, we're in Fort Worth, and how about Dallas? We're in Dallas, and we do roof replacement." Fine, make a page about Dallas roof replacement. But the owner of the company gets greedy and says, "Ah, let's make a page for Arlington roof replacement, Plano roof replacement, and Fort Worth TX roof replacement." They start writing all these crap blogs just to garner these keywords. And let's define a crap blog. Man, aren't like 90% of them bad? Like, who the hell wants to read that stuff? Now, if we write a blog with Roofing Webmasters, we do a 1,000-word blog. We don't do a lot of them anymore, but it's 1,000-word deep dive blog, no bull. So that stuff is like on point when we write it. Otherwise, by God, don't put up a blog. So a lot of people call, say, "I need content. I need blogging." Well, for what reason, sir? Well, I just need it. That's what I want. Like, okay, so you're calling the experts in the industry to dictate what you think you need to optimize. Because I'll say, well, why do you want the content? So we make large, I'm going to be really clear. We do larger than average websites, much larger. We'll do a dozen pages of content on services at least, a dozen city pages at least, you know? Well, we do that. So we'll make pages for hail damage roof repair and TPO and single ply and silicone and acrylic and commercial roofing, flat roof restoration, metal, commercial metal roof, standing seam, and shingle and replacement and repair and emergency and roof insurance claims help. I love all of that. That's all fantastic. If you don't have those pages, you won't show up. I'll do a commercial roofer's website, and I'll do way more content about the services because Google doesn't know that you do roof restoration and roof coatings and elastomeric. Pages for that, pages for acrylic and silicone, pages for your single plies, EPDM, PVC, TPO, page for each of them, page for built up, page for cool roof, page for all that sort of stuff, or you won't show up. Okay, so that's all good. And then make like a dozen city pages, 20 city pages. Here's where some of the problem comes in though. Is a TPO page a good page? Man, that's a great page. So that's a fantastic page. Is a mule hide page a good page? Nah, it may be too obscure. People don't know what mule hide is. They're not going to type it in. The amount of times, so they don't want a page of content sitting there that never gets a search. Like, I'm going to make a page for mule hide and tropical and all these off-brand, coatings. Maybe one or two, but if you put up a ton of those and they never get traffic at all. But I do like a page for all my single plies. I do like a page for all my roof coatings. I love that. That's great. I do like pages for hail damage roof repair, not just roof replacement, I like one for roof insurance claims help if you can do that in your state. Some states are particular about that. Those are all good pages. If it gets too obscure, it's not. Now here's another type of trash content. Nolan, I'm in Arlington, but I service a 50-mile radius. And if it's a good commercial job, I service 350 miles. I'll drive, by God. I'll stay in a hotel. I know you will. I get it. But if you go on and put in 20 pages of services or 10, and then you put in 100 city pages, boy, that's trash content again. Now, somebody might come up to me and say, "Nolan, I know a guy. And by the way, I got a guy. One of my guys got anywhere in Texas, he shows up for foam roofing. You can dream up cities over and over again. He's got like 1,000 city pages. He's been around forever. He's had this stuff up a long time. He's got major creds with Google. You show up as a noob and you start putting in 12 pages of services and 100 city pages for a 35-mile radius around DFW or Dallas-Fort Worth, and they're going to go, this thing sucks, because you have like 10% actual content about services and 90% self-serving city pages. Now, hold on a second. Are city pages great? Yeah, 2 thumbs up, they're fantastic. I love city pages. You just can't go slam the crap out of them at one time and have self-serving stuff for the business owner. One type of trash content gone too far too fast. Do we have people that have more? Yeah, but they're few and far between. Somebody shows up in a metropolitan area and wants to show, and then people say, well, and people get lost on content and optimization in the details. Start hearing all the negative stuff going, well, shoot, yeah, Nolan, I'm in multiple areas. I'm not just in Dallas-Fort Worth. I'm in Austin and San Antonio, and hell, I'll go to Waco if a hailstorm hits. Well, I'm aware that a lot of you guys do that, but Google's not just gonna, call up and say, well, make me dominant everywhere. Well, no, you're not gonna get dominant everywhere immediately. And there's so much to be had that don't lose sight of the forest for the trees. If you got into San Antonio or Phoenix or I don't know, Raleigh, North Carolina, or Atlanta, Georgia, or Oklahoma City, or any of these areas, and you start to get a presence, you're going to do stinking really well. You get up in Pack3 Map, and you get hundreds of keywords in map and organic combined, which can happen. You're going to get some regular phone call volume, and when it storms, your phone's going to light up. And so, yes, it's fantastic. Can you go throw city pages up everywhere? No. Do I help you trick Google on addresses? No. I'm getting a little off content here, but I'm just trying to make a point. Because it's not worth getting stuff pulled down. And it's also not worth somebody that can't control themselves on content getting spammed out before they even start the race. They're like, wow, I got every city in Texas, boy. I'm gonna kick some butt, and Google's like, and bans it all before it even starts to get a panda penalty. And so what do? You put up a lot of content. You just don't overdo it, and it doesn't look like crap when it goes up. So it's not shallow, it's not copied, it's not blown out with cities everywhere. It's written by an American, by God. Not that I'm all pro, I'm pro-American, I'm patriot, but it's not, if you pay for somebody out of India with second grade level British style English, good luck. The algorithm can tell it. You got somebody call you, go, hey, for $2,000 a year, you're gonna dominate. You go, oh yeah, let's get you on a conference call with me and somebody and go through a PowerPoint presentation. You're like, oh yeah, it's gonna cost nothing and I'm gonna make millions. I'm the smartest guy in the world. So you do have to have some skilled stuff going on, not only on content, but everything, but content for sure. Google's gonna grade it. They can tell that it's second grade British style English out of India. They know, they absolutely know. They're not gonna put your site up, make their search engine look like crap for showing your crap content, okay? So don't downplay this. Is there a lot to be had in the area? Yes. If you want to blanket 100 miles, I would maybe do 100 miles with a commercial guy, but it's a lot different when you think about it. I know content, I know Google, I know how they look at it, how much they have. Does Google have plenty of roofers in a 100-mile radius, 150-mile radius, let's say, of a metro area? Yes, they do. Do they have a lot of content for roof repair and residential roof-related items? Yes, they do. They have a lot of content for acrylic roofing or commercial roof restoration? No, they don't. Would they possibly take a few more pages on cities with that? Yeah, they might. They do. That's why I have foam roofing on Texas Wide, not roofer or roof repair. So you need somebody smart enough that knows where the limits are and how much you can garner and go for. That's the maximum amount you can get reasonably without getting penalized by the algorithm. You certainly don't need somebody cheap as hell. You don't need, I want to go into blogging. You don't need somebody throwing up trash blogs. Oh, I blog all the time. Well, that new algorithm don't like that too much. Your little trash blog being put up cheap as hell that nobody in their right mind would ever want to read ever. So if you can't throw up content and go and just slam it up like you could 5 years ago, 3 years ago, then what's Google doing? What can I do, Nolan? Well, I'm glad you asked. So you put up a site that's got really good content, more than normal, because understand that most people don't put up anything trash, copied, shallow, none. Google don't even know what they do for a living, and then they never change anything. That's bad. So you need a good quality content and plenty of it, but not without side of the realms of somebody that's gone crazed and like, I gotta have it all. I used to door knock and COVID-19 hit, and now I need to dominate digitally. Digital door knocking. I've heard people talking about all kinds of nonsense since COVID-19. You mean optimizing on the internet? It's not anything new. I mean, digital door knocking, sure, fine. And you can show up. Can you show up in another major area? Yeah, you can. You can get another legitimate location. Should you do that at the same time? Should you run into Dallas, Fort Worth, and Austin at the same time? Hell no, you shouldn't. You're gonna split yourself thin. You know damn well you're not in both markets all the time. Where do you live? Focus down and start working on the map and content and signaling. So what's the new content and signaling? So content doesn't have to mean words on a page of content. Doesn't have to mean that kind of content. It can be a photo. It can be a geo-coordinated check-in off of your phone. It can be a caption you wrote. So we have a service called Brand Review. You can look it up at brandrevu.com, brandrevu.com. Brand Review allows you to be at a job site and snap a photo or maybe a selfie before you leave. You ask the client for a review. You're in Collin County, Texas, one of the best counties for roofers in the nation. Expensive and gets hit with hail every year. It's like a vortex of hail drops on Collin County. It's like roofer heaven. There's a lot of good ones, man. It's been a good storm year, this 2020 COVID-19 coronavirus. Thank God it was a good storm year, you know? I didn't used to care, and I used to be shameful about being happy about storms. But I've worked with roofers for so long. Thank God it hailed. And thank God there's good storms this year. You know, we didn't cause them. Mother Nature caused them. And it was good for business, man. It was good for the roofers. It was good for us. It's a good storm year, and it hit in a good year. You got COVID, but you had good storms. So thank God that it stormed well in this year. It's been a really good year for roofers. And so you can get this stuff going, can work out for you really well. What you can optimize is fantastic. Does Google want no content, shallow content, copied content, sloppy, dirty blogs for no reason? No, I don't want that stuff anymore. Can you add a photo caption and check-in on every job? Yes, you can. It'll take you 2 minutes. Bye, customer. Thanks, man. I'm in Collin County. My office is in Plano, but I just did a job in Melissa. It's a town north in North Collin County. I just did a selfie in front of a stack of shingles. I just did a certain shingle roof replacement in Melissa TX. So I grabbed my photo. I asked the client, hey, please leave me a review. If you Google my name, best damn roofer in Collin County. That's a video channel, by the way, in case anybody didn't know. Look up best damn roofer. Funny stuff on YouTube. Best damn roofer. Collin County is the name. If you'll Google it, we'll pop up. If you could give us a review, I would really appreciate it. They say, oh, sure, fine. And then 1 out of 10 does. Now, this is content, so we're not off of content. This is content. You get in your truck. Before you left, you took a photo, and you make a caption. You open up Brand Review on your web app on your phone and say, just did a certainty shingle roof replacement in Collin County TX, or Melissa TX. Pick my Melissa page because the fantastic people at Roof and Webmasters made me a great page for Melissa, and I picked my roof replacement page because it made me a page of content about that too. Google sees your check-in in Melissa, Texas, reads the geocode within 2 blocks off the phone, sees a custom photo that they can tell is custom with a custom caption, 3 points of custom data goes on 2 different pages. You do 100 jobs in a year, you have 600 changes to your website. So how many changes, content changes of any type, photos, captions, pages of content, blogs, do you think the average roofer gets in the market? I think zero, like zero, or like you can count on one hand how many they had. Now you got 600. How good is a blog written by somebody that didn't want to write it about a nonsense topic compared to a check-in of a job that somebody just searched in Google? So Google now comes back and says, okay, somebody in Melissa, Texas looked for a roof replacement. If you're lucky, they typed in certainteed, and then you have some extremely relevant content, okay? Right? So if you're lucky, they typed that in because you added to your content when you did that, and you had a relevant picture of it and a check-in. So Google's got to say, okay, we've got to put somebody down on these top 10 on the first page because somebody just typed in roof replacement Melissa TX. Okay, well, there's like 150 pages. Now, there might be like 38,000 searches for this, but there's really only about 100 roofers that have a page of content from Melissa TX, but that's a lot of roofers. And 87% of people go to Google to search for stuff. 75% pass up the pay-per-click and go to the organic, the map or the organic. About half will go to map, about half go to organic. Now, who are we going to pick for the organic for this? Who are we going to pick for the map for this? Let's start with the organic. Well, there's 100 of them, and we got all this other stuff. We'll put some of that down here below too. Somebody might want to read an article written by CNN about roof replacement. I don't know, but that's number 9. But probably they're looking for a local roofer. So let's show them some maps and let's show them some organic page content. Let's go to page content. Oh, 99 of these guys have a page that's kind of cruddy. One written by Roof and Webmasters, has bad code base, fairly chunky bad content. No, you know, well, this one guy, best damn roofer, Collin County, has 5 recent jobs. Well, he's got pictures of them and captions. The check-in code, I can tell he was there. That's good content. You know, that's a better page of content to show somebody. Now, if you're close to there, you might show up on mapping too. It may or may not show a guy from Plano. The map shows up wherever they want it to show up. So it depends on how strong the map is. But wherever your map is, it's going to bring in a lot too. And if this was close enough to show up, it's expanded now by more keyword topics because the site's written better with good content and has supportive data. All right, guys, so you start to see the difference. I'm going to go over some of this and start to sum it up. Got to have content. Straight trash content's bad. Straight cheap-ass content's bad. Content written out of the country's bad. We have people that are degreed, that are vetted out, that are writers before they come in the door, that do this stuff for a living. Get out of here, please. I'm sorry. It's COVID-19 still. I'm at home. Somebody tried to walk in on me. Anyway, so we do this stuff for a living. You got quality people writing it. You need that. You don't need just blogs shoved in for no reason. If you get a blog, it better be good. You can do city pages. In this case, for Best Damn Roofer in Collin County, I did Collin County cities, probably. Going to be strong in Collin County, and that's a lot, too, to have that. So what else? Let's sum up. So no content's bad, shallow content's bad, copy content's bad, blogging for no reason, just slap in, I'm going to blog about roof replacement in every city in Dallas-Fort Worth. Nah, that's not good. You're going to waste all your money, maybe even get a penalty. Never adding anything's bad. Brand review adds the best quality content you could possibly add. It's on cutting edge and almost nobody does it. Bing, that's good. Google, what are they checking now? Branded signaling. Check-in, that's check-in code meant for someone that came in there. Check-in was the digital way to say you did a job. That's the best content you could have. If it's on the right page, guys, you can get check-in code. It drops into gobbledygook. What do I mean by that? All the check-in captions and photos go on one page. I did a job in Melissa, Texas, and in Plano, and in Frisco, and in McKinney, and in Allen. And Google's like, And what am I supposed to show them? This gobbledygook page, the Melissa page, is one of 120 check-ins in the last year and a quarter, and it's not relevant because there's 20 cities listed here, 15, and it's gobbledygook. They're not going to show gobbledygook. You've got to, that's why we build the website with more content, proper content, and then we put the short code so that you can drop the check-in with a photo and caption on the page that needs to be optimized. You got to be careful with it. All right, 150 city pages, probably not, unless you're commercial, we'll talk about it. Is this enough? Yes, it's enough. It's enough. This is how you go digitally. Can you go bigger after you get a stable base? Yeah, you can. You can get a little more aggressive as long as it's within the rules of Google and it makes sense. No content out of the country, bad. They can grade it, they can tell. Poorly coded content. Somebody doesn't know how to write it, doesn't optimize for what you thought it did, that's bad. And ignoring the basics, the basic stuff. You've got to have this wrapped in proper code, proper design, other things, set up your citations, work on GMB, everything else, your Google Analytics and console, it's all got to be set up around it. It's not the only thing there is. And the reason I say that is because when somebody's searching for, roofer content, they are content for roofers, if that's what you looked for. It's old school to think of it in such a singular, one track way. That is not the way the algorithm works anymore. So we would love to do all this for you. Would we write content only? Heck no. Heck no. We're not going to do that. Don't call us for content only. We are very inexpensive for high quality services that wraps into organic properly and does a bunch for the client. But will we write content? No. Go do your best to find a freelancer to slop up something. Here's the problem with it. Slop up content, no vested interest, take your job and done, and then throw it onto other bad base level stuff that you have. So you can't ignore proper coded website, properly structured, URL structuring, proper setup of GMB and citations, and set up a something to give good content like brand review integrated into individual pages. So we're not a cheapo freelancing out of the country service that does that sort of stuff. We are very inexpensive. We're month to month. We're just $99 to start. You can cancel at any time, although we hope to keep you for years, and happy to go over stuff. But, and we're half price of anybody that does quality work, which is just a few. It's just ever so few. The reason that people get upset with SEO is because they never quite figure it out and they get screwed around by people, which is what's led me to do things like $99 startup month to month. We have skin in the game when we start with a client. It costs us a lot more than what we get to start them up. Anyway, I hope this helped. I think it's good stuff. You need to really understand this part of it. It's important that you do well in organic. It's very important. It's your best return on investment dollar. Always has been, will be for the foreseeable future. Google Organic's vital to your business operations, and we're good at it. So I'd love to hear from you. My name's Nolan. I'm the owner here. If you have any questions, call. We've been doing this for a decade. See you later.